as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
You know, we talked about Hulk Hogan at the Republican National Convention, and you know, I think Kid Rock was there, and all the other right-wing celebrities. Amber Rose, you know, she had the slut walk, but you know, Kamala has her own celebs. You know, even before the Democratic National Convention, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, right? Was it next week?
I think it's next week. Yeah.
Damn, next week. But even before then, you know, she's been campaigning, her and her VP candidate, Tim Walz, who she named a couple of weeks ago. Or, damn, that might have been last week. My track of time is not the best.
It's a little off. It's a little off.
It really is. I'm like, when did that happen?
All the days blended together, man.
Yeah. But she's been out and about, man. She brought out one of your faves.
That's right. That's right. She did. Let's take a quick look at just who we're talking about moving that thing. Let's go, Meg. Move it. In a pantsuit too. Oh, she looked good. It's a long video. You're gonna have to wait a little bit.
Nah, man, enjoy it. I know you're enjoying yourself right now.
People in the back of Meg were hating too. They started looking around like, what is going on? Why is she? This is not appropriate. And then of course you got the one white lady that's vibing. She's like, yeah, holding her poster for Kamala.
Man, what world do we live in right now, man? Shit's getting weird.
It's so strange. Like when I saw it, I'm like, this is not the right audience. You need to do if Kamala was doing a speech at a college, I could understand it. Like you bring out Meg, oh, that college is going crazy. But in this setting, not quite.
Yeah.
Not quite.
I don't think the crowd was feeling it too much. No. Honestly, I wasn't really feeling it either, but you know, she said hotties for Harris. You know, she has a real strong fan base. And then on Twitter, hoes for Harris was trending because everyone was hating on them. I'm like, you guys were just celebrating Amber Rose like 2 weeks ago. Now it's hoes for Harris because it's Meg Thee Stallion, who, you know, I don't know. She's not nearly as salacious to me as Amber Rose personally. I mean, at least she's an artist.
Yeah, but Amber went up and she gave a speech. She didn't twerk. She hung up her twerking shoes.
She should have twerked though. Like that would have been way better. Come on,
she would have created some waves. That is for sure.
For real. You got to play to your strengths, and that's what Meg's good at doing.
Listen, I think that she needs to get the younger people excited. Yeah, and I think she understands that. Because obviously her VP pick is not meant to do that. He's meant to get, you know, middle of the country, some of these coal states and things like that going, the Bible Belt or whatever we're calling it now nowadays, the abortion ban belt. But I think that we're going to see more of this next week.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. You know, my mom said, oh, she should play Not Like Us. And I was like, hell no. We talked about
I would not be surprised. I really would not be surprised.
I'd be very surprised. I don't think Kendrick's gonna let that happen. And come on, don't do that. Like, don't ruin the song. The one thing I will say, one regret I have over at the pool party is that song didn't get played on the playlist.
Nat was upset. Nat was upset about that. She was like, they didn't play Not Like Us. It would have been so good.
I know. It was a missed opportunity. I had like over 10 hours on that playlist. And I was skipping
so
through
much.
songs.
So much.
Yeah. And that's just the one that didn't come on. So Drake, you're lucky. We'll see next year.
Because that would have been another video.
Oh
there were several.
For real, that would have been lit. So sorry, party. Next time. Yes. I'm sure we've all heard it enough. But yeah, we talked about Kamala like trying to appeal to the youth and to Black people, and you said, you know, she needs to appeal. You know, she needs to work on that Black side and, you know, not acknowledge the Indian side because you said there's not enough Indian voters, but. I don't know, man. I feel like it's a bit cringe sometimes when she tries to appeal. Like she was in Atlanta, and I'm gonna play just some audio of her talking to
Donald Trump.
The crowd.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk.
Oof.
Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
You know, her speaking style is so fucking boring to me.
Really?
I gotta say, when the day that she was announcing Tim Walz and everything like that, you know, Shapiro came out and he tore the house down. I mean, then we're in Philly. It's his home state. It's Philly. Like, you know, they're gonna give him some motion, but the way he was talking, the way he spoke, he definitely took a lot out of Obama's book. He's been studying Obama, like that's his mentor or something. The cadence, just the way that he would, you know, get in the crowd's feelings and things like that. It was very Obama-esque. And then she came out and she was putting me to fucking sleep. Like, it was boring. I changed the channel. Like, it's just, her cadence is so slow and like methodical that it's boring.
I'm not mad at it, honestly. It could be worse, bro. It could be like Hillary, bro.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Oh, that's ass!
Yo, that's terrible.
She could have just said people go to the polls. Like, you didn't have to say Pokemon go to the, like, what? What are you doing?
Bro,
that's why she lost.
I hate this shit. I hate it across the board, honestly. It's just getting weird, but who knows? Who knows? It is getting weird. I know you said, you know, Kamala, she needs to play up her blackness. And Trump, one of the things I really wanted to talk about happened a couple weeks ago is, you know, Trump, he called her out. He said he didn't even know that she was black until recently.
Oh my God, this clip is nuts. He was at the National Association for Black Journalists, and you all will hear this clip. It's a little bit long, but
other questions
it's important.
Here. Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a definition then. Would you give me a definition of that? Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question, a very direct question.
Define it for me, if you would.
I just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She is always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe...
Yo,
the way you can should look into that too when you ask.
The way he says black, you know, it's a struggle for him not to say nigga.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris...
He's like a black person. Like, you know, he'd be saying that shit at home. Like,
bro, it's so cringe worthy. Like, what the hell was he was saying this in front of a crowd of black people? Everyone was laughing because it's like, it's a comedy show with him.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's absolutely insane. Like, I think anybody that is, even if people are not mixed, you should take exception to this. Like, he's insulting. He really is. It's nasty for a white person to try to question your heritage in general. Like, and they never know how to do it. What are you? Where are you from? Like, motherfucker, I am Brian Spears. I am from New Jersey. Fuck you. Like,
I thought you liked the ambiguity though. Like, what happened?
It's fun when I'm talking to hoes. Like, outside of that, no, don't ask it, because those types of questions only come up from like people at work or people you don't like or people you just met. Like, those are the only times those kind of questions come up.
Bro, people need to know what slur to call you. They
Exactly, right?
Yeah, they want to be correct when they insult you. No, I do think this was offensive and kind of just extremely ignorant, but that's how Trump got on, man, with the birther shit in 2012, questioning Obama and his heritage and where he came from.
Oh, he's got a fake birth certificate.
Bro, that's what made him hot.
Now her birth certificate is circulating online?
No.
And they're looking at it. So her birth certificate is there. It says that her mother's birth country is India.
Okay.
It says the father's birth country is Jamaica. It says the mother, her ethnicity or whatever, is Caucasian because Indians, I guess at that time, it wasn't really well defined that they were Asian. It says the father is Jamaican. So wouldn't you know that all the people are like, she's Caucasian, she's not black? Bro,
that's amazing.
It's so stupid. It's nasty out here.
Listen, I think we should all just be like, okay, we're all Caucasian. We're all white. If Kamala's white, then everyone's white. Then you can't be racist anymore. But yeah, they're always going to question things. But I think people kind of just laugh at that or get offended. I don't really see that helping Trump. The way he thinks it might help him. Like,
there's no way. Especially
when the Democratic base, like the most loyal, demographic to voting Democrat are black women. I don't think this is helping him, in any way, kind of motivating people to get out to vote for her and support her. And I will say, since, replacing Biden, I have gotten a different sense of people's excitement and motivation actually in going to support her. Yeah. So I think the more him and his vice president pick Vance, the more they keep saying dumb shit, the more it's going to energize, other people who are undecided or were unmotivated to go vote for her. The people who are going to vote for Trump are always going to go out and vote for him. So I hope he keeps saying stupid shit. I hope he keeps talking with a lisp. I hope he keeps spiraling in his every one of his rallies, just talking about nonsense and the border and just yelling and screaming, because that's who he is. And is that really who you want to lead the country for the next 4 years? He also said, if you vote for me, it's the last time you'll have to vote ever. You won't have to vote again.
And then they doubled down on it. His campaign was like, oh, he just meant that it'll be such an easy decision for you to vote for the next Republican nominee that it'll feel like you're not having to vote again.
Makes no sense. Yo.
None.
Yo, Troy, what do you think about Kamala, using hip hop to relate to young voters? Do you think it's going to be helpful?
I think it's cringy. It might help, sway maybe some young person who's like, what, it's better than voting for Biden. I definitely do feel that energy thing, though, because I remember when we talked about, should Biden drop out? And I was like, it's too late. And I was like, feeling hopeless. And now I'm like, not super excited, but I'm definitely like more energized that she's running and someone who actually speak, enunciate and everything is going up against Trump. So, I definitely feel that shift in energy as well.
Yeah, man. Will they debate is the real question.
Well, I from what I hear, they've confirmed a date. They've confirmed September 10th for their debate. Which I think that's going to be on, let me see. Trump talks about it. He starts listing a whole bunch of dates.
With all that being said, I think it's very important to have debates. And
suddenly it's important to debate.
Fox on a date of September 4th. We've agreed with NBC, fairly full agreement, subject to them, on September 10th.
Yeah, they've got the 10th of September with NBC. So that's coming up. I think hopefully she's prepared, because that's coming up quick. It's going to be 3 weeks from now. And
bro, she's been prepping for years.
I hope so. But again, I'm concerned about her cadence and the way she speaks. Like, you cannot put people to sleep.
What are you talking about? It's a debate, man. And she's a prosecutor. She knows how to speak, and she knows how to, build her case and set a tone. I think she's the perfect person to go against him. I mean, we saw what Biden did. He really was scary.
You can't be worse than that. So that's a good thing. The bar is not high right now.
And Trump, the way he's been sounding, I'm sorry, that's not intimidating to me. He's not even really making sense.
This is true.
So I think he's walking into a buzzsaw, especially with his VP. His VP is going to get torn up too, because I really like what Waltz has been saying.
Waltz he's ready.
Yeah. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Spotify, follow on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, like
all the apps. We're everywhere.